What is going on, everyone? Welcome to the Six Figure Studio Group. If you're watching this right now, go ahead and comment live if you're watching us live, but also go ahead and comment replay if you're watching the replay too. I'd love to know where everyone is coming from. But today we got a special guest here. We got Jorge. Say what's up, Jorge.
Hello, what's up?
Yeah, I'm really excited because we're going to be talking about Jorge's transformation, like ever since working with us for like a few months now. Like the biggest thing, and you've probably seen it in like the title here, but last month in June, like Jorge was able to make over 5K in revenue for his piano studio, which has never been heard of before for him, but really excited to dive deep into like not just where he's come from, but how he's able to do it. And especially for you watching, like if like how you can be able to do that yourself as well. So I'm really excited. If you don't know me, again, my name is Ben. Like not only am I a music teacher, but I'm also a coach here. Like I really want to help you be able to create six-figure studios so that you can have a lot of time and freedom in your life, being able to teach your passion. So if you are looking for a way for you to like to be able to scale to like an online course or group lessons so that you can be able to earn more and save time, like you're in the perfect place. And super excited to dive into what Jorge is doing right now. So first things first, if you are pumped, go ahead and type pumped in the chat. I want to make sure you're excited. Let Jorge know you're excited, and we'll go ahead and get started. But Jorge, go ahead and tell a little bit about yourself, about your studio. Like, how'd you get into what you're doing and like what you're doing now?
Yes, for sure. My pleasure. Well, I am a pianist and a composer. I studied at the Berklee College of Music, and I graduated, well, 5 years ago. It's been a little bit. And at first I was doing more music for film in general. Well, actually until now, but now I'm not as active as before. Mainly because my interests start shifting more towards education, which is something that I've done for a while. Even before Berklee, I was teaching piano. And performance is another of my passions. I really like performing, and I try to perform every time I have a chance. And I like doing both things. So in terms of education, I got a lot of experience teaching at Berklee during my time at Berklee. I was a tutor, and I did that for about 3 years. And after that, I kept doing it at different schools and also online for a bit. Then when the pandemic hit, I basically was almost jobless because apart from teaching, I was also helping a composer in LA. Mm-hmm. But after that, they closed the studio, so I couldn't go and keep working with him. So basically, I started to do a lot more teaching. I was like, okay, I'm gonna just do my own thing, because also schools were closed and I didn't have anywhere else to go.
Yeah.
So I started to make some posts on Instagram and mimicking the marketing and ways of others of promoting their teaching. And that went amazingly well. I basically was able to, survive during the pandemic with that. And I did that for a while. And now it has evolved, thanks to you, Benjamin. Because before you, I was actually always looking in ways of improving in terms of the amount of time that I was putting into it, the amount of energy that I was dedicating to it, and what I was actually teaching, right? Mm-hmm. I knew there was better ways of it, because at some point I was having 30 to 40 students a week that I got through Instagram, mainly through Instagram. But that was very time consuming, and I wasn't charging the amount that I was actually able to,
Gotcha.
that I have discovered recently.
How is that? Yeah. Like, could I ask like how that was making you feel like at the moment?
Well, not necessarily stressed, but maybe a little bit frustrated, because I really wanted to have a little bit more time for myself. And time for performing as well, which is another aspect that I love doing, right?
Yeah.
So after that, yes.
Oh no, I was about to say, like, it sounds like things were like, it was kind of like it's kind of like a juggling between two things. It's like I got I got teaching that I want to do, but then I also got like performing that I want to do too. But I have to like make money with the teaching, but I also want to perform because that's like what I love to do too. So it's kind of like a balance between like where do I even put my time and energy into?
Yeah, yeah. Exactly. And I went through some other coaches and people and programs that I saw online, and I tried to do a few things, but they weren't really resonating with me, and I wasn't feeling
Oh,
comfortable with doing these other programs that I found online. But then when I saw you, that really caught my attention because
oh, how come?
of the title that I saw on Facebook, specifically what it said, online coaching for music businesses or for music studios, right?
Yeah,
And that like fit so well with what I was doing. I needed, and I was like, okay, this is probably the guy. So
the guy.
this is the answer, you know. And at the end of the day, that's probably. I mean, that's basically true. I mean, that's you are the answer, Benjamin.
Well, I appreciate it. I appreciate it because like obviously like all of this like these results definitely come from you, Jorge. But like it's kind of like our origin story together. It's like help us understand like what were some of the
Yeah.
biggest problems that you were experiencing at the time that we did meet, because I feel like a lot of teachers watching might feel the same way. So as like Jorge is talking about
Yes.
this, like definitely let us know like what problems like you resonate with or like what you're going through as well. But yeah, like for you, Jorge, what were kind of like the biggest problems that you were experiencing when we did meet?
Well, not everything that you see in the internet, unfortunately, is true and you can trust. So I always go through the process of, can I really trust this person or this entity or institution, right?
Mhm.
So I did some research about you, and then I saw comments about you, and then I went to people that you were already helping and asked about you. And after doing all this, I felt a lot more confident, and more inclined to talking to you. And then when I saw the testimonials and your videos and your activity and how serious you were taking this, I was like, okay, I probably should. This is probably a good moment to invest in someone who is going to really help me push forward what I want to do, right?
Mhm.
So going through that process was important for me. And then I know I didn't accept going with you for at least the first 2 or 3 calls,
Mhm.
because I also had a money hesitation, of course. But at the end of the day, since you made the process smoother for me, I agreed on doing it, and until now, I know that it's been one of the best investments that I've made in the past year, and
Appreciate it.
probably in my life, because it's all the way worth it, 100%. As you say, um, you are probably the 10 to 20% of this, and the 80% or 90% is us, putting the work,
Mhm.
being consistent, taking action, taking action. And one of
Yeah.
the other things that I loved from things that I've learned from you is taking imperfect action concept, because I've been
Nice.
able to apply it not only with this, but in my daily life. I mean, in my daily life, in even small things,
Yeah. Yeah, we can
Um,
definitely like dive into that real in depth so that the people watching right now can really learn from what your experience was. Um, but just on like a relatable level, like for your studio, what were some of those challenges that you were facing that you needed help for that like maybe other people could be able to resonate with?
right. Well, the first point that I had touched before about working less hours and more effectively, that was a very important aspect for me.
Mm,
So, and that changed, and it's changing, and for better. So now I'm able to maybe don't give more quantity, but give a little bit less quantity and more quality. So
quality.
I take less hours with people, but my time with them, it's more precious, because I have developed more techniques on what to teach, how to teach it, have certain goals to achieve,
Yeah.
and and not necessarily meet every week, but meet every 2 weeks, and then that makes me feel better, and it makes them feel better as well.
Totally.
And yeah, and I've been able to understand what's my actual value. Like nobody should take this knowledge for granted. Like the musical knowledge that you have acquired through your life and that you have invested time, money, energy in it is very valuable, and it can benefit others. And you need to understand your actual value. Like, what are you worth?
Yeah.
How much is your time, your energy really worth?
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, I'm glad you mentioned that because that's one of the biggest beliefs that I have, that like if you have that too, if you're watching, if you have that too, that will shift the way that you run your business, but also see your life and the industry. Because the biggest problem that I see with music teachers is that like we're heavily undervaluing ourselves. And the problem with that is like it's not just affecting us as our personal lives and as music teachers, but it's affecting the whole industry, like affecting music and the perception of music as a whole. Because if everyone's trying to charge cheap music lessons, what's everyone going to think about music? It's cheap, right? When we start to actually value
Yes.
music for what it is and put the price tag for what it is and not be afraid to charge that, like what's the perception is going to be? It's going to be like we're going to be seen as valuable, and that's what it should be. So I'm glad you mentioned that. And I guess like the main meat of this is obviously like for you making more and spending less time too, but especially with like getting to the 5K, that's a huge accomplishment for you. So everyone like definitely congratulate Jorge in the comments for that. But I'm pretty sure everyone would love to know, like, how did you get to that growth so quick? Like, what were some of the biggest factors in there that allowed you to get to the 5K in like an entire month?
Yeah, and I just want to add a little comment there that you're absolutely right. Those actions really disturb like the entire music market. Putting ourselves down there, that's not good.
Yeah.
So you can understand. Yes, one of the most important factors was gaining confidence.
Confidence in what?
Confidence in the way you talk, in the way you sell, in the way you promote your business. Mostly in the way you interact with a person that you're speaking to one-on-one. That person needs to feel comfortable, needs to feel that he or she is in confidence, that you're treating them well, that you're taking them through a path that they really want to be at, and that you are that person that can help. So it's all about your tone, your voice tone, if you're expressing nervousness or you're calm, all of those things really, really are taken into account,
How do you even how do you even work on that? Like, I guess for you personally, how did you work on that? And like, 'cause I feel like a lot of people can be able to take that away, like starting today. So, yeah. So what are some ways that you work? Like, how did you even work on the confidence? Because it's not like you're going to wake up and all of a sudden you're going to be confident, right?
100%, 100%. A lot of that, it's a little bit of trial and error in the way, because you are experimenting, right? If you have a certain price that you want to charge and a certain program, you're going to go with that and see how it goes. And from there, you're going to read the experience, right? If it went well or bad, what do I need to change now? And for the next one, you'll be more prepared. And for the next one, you'll be more prepared. So a lot of that, it's empiric. There's a big empiric side of it, of just testing, and practice and consistency. And of course, another part of that is the actual knowledge that you acquired, like assisting these Q&A calls that you have provided, practicing with a role play, and putting yourself in a fictional scenario, right? Practicing with the other people involved in the program. All of that works. And now I'm also perceiving that in addition to that is also your personal habits. I mean, are you treating your spirit? Like, are you meditating? Are you taking time for yourself? Are you doing exercise? Like, are you eating well?
Yeah.
Are you doing happy things? Because all of those daily actions that you take in your personal life will have an impact in your calls as well. You know,
100%.
it
I'm
will
glad you
have an
mentioned
impact.
that because one of the my favorite lessons that I got from uh one of the biggest like one of the biggest salesmen in like the coaching industry. His name is Eli Wild, and he was like the top salesman for Tony Robbins. I am sure like everyone, a lot of people know who Tony Robbins is, but he was a top
Yep.
sales guy there, like sold hundreds of millions of dollars for Tony Robbins. One of the biggest things that I took away from like being able to meet him online was I asked him a question on like how do we bring certainty and confidence like into our daily life like every single day, because you can have it for like one day, but like how do you sustain certainty and confidence? And he said something, I forgot the exact quote, but he said something along the lines of like, practicing what you preach. And it's like for
Mm.
me, like I like even though I talk a lot about like marketing and the sales, and I actually do that, like I talk to you all, like all of the members and all the clients. I talk to you about like the personal habits too, like making sure you're organized, taking care of yourself. And I cannot speak on that with certainty and confidence if I didn't do that myself. Like if I didn't wake up, if I didn't go to the gym every day, if I didn't take my walks or have my morning routines, like I wouldn't be able to talk about that with certainty and confidence because I don't do it. So especially for you all
100%.
watching here, like think about everything that you preach. Like, are you practicing that? Are you living that in your daily life? Because if you are, you're going to come from a place of certainty and confidence everywhere in your
There you
life.
go. Yeah,
Yeah.
you're gonna gain clarity.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna gain
Yeah.
clarity.
That's huge though. That's huge though. I think it's something that a lot of people
Yeah.
don't really talk about. So if you did get a lot of value out of that, go ahead and let us know what you feel like resonated with you the most. And also, if you do have any questions, I forgot to mention earlier, if you do have any questions for Jorge, just drop it below and we can come back and we can be able to answer that afterwards. But thinking about the future now, I would love to know, like, because you gave us a lot of advice, thinking about the future, like what's the future for you, Jorge? Like, what's the next step after getting this 5K? Obviously, we want to get to the 10K next, but like, what's the next goal for you? And also, like, how are you going to do that as well?
All right, for sure. And just before answering that, for example, this week
Uh-huh.
I started a new routine at the gym, and I've been going Monday. I went Monday, yesterday, today,
Nice.
and today I had a call, and it went so great because just because I was feeling really good with myself, you know.
Yeah.
So that has a lot to do,
That's what I
really.
figured. Awesome.
Anyways, for the future, well, I think I'm still in an initial pace, even which is going amazingly. But I still see it as an initial pace. This has just I started in March. I really started in April. Like in
Hmm.
March, we started. You know, the very first weeks we started with very basic things, but I actually started working, and I feel like the wheel started going forward from April. So it's been 4 months, not even,
Three months, like around three
three
months,
months. Yeah,
barely,
around three
barely,
months.
like 2 or 3 months. Yeah.
Barely. Like I'm impressed, honestly, by myself of how much I have achieved in such a short time. But having you really helps because you are the guide. So it's like it's motivational.
Hmm.
Like you want to keep pushing. But the next step for me is just keep getting more students. Right now it's keep making more calls, growing the community, keep learning from um, these lessons that I'm taking, that I'm giving,
Yeah.
making things better, and also learning a lot from my peers as well, from
Mm.
Michael, from Terrence.
Yeah.
I followed some of their models, which are working for me as well, and I like what they're doing. They are also like points of reference for me as to where I want to be
Yeah.
in the next months. And I think once I have a good amount of students that I want to achieve, I want to start making things better for them too. Like maybe putting them in groups,
Yeah.
generating a Q&A call maybe every 2 weeks to start it off, just putting more value into the business and making the network closer, like
Yeah.
making it an actual community, like allow people to participate more, to understand that this is something, big, and that we're here to, help each other. So I guess making them gain more consciousness of like, this is a community, this is a network, and we're pianists, songwriters here to help.
I love it.
Yeah, so that's for now. We'll see what happens after.
Awesome. Well, other than that, like really, really appreciate you for being here, Jorge. Again, everyone, thank Jorge for his time and energy because he's a busy guy and love taking the time out like to be able to talk about your experience, but also huge congrats on your achievement because it's not stopping. It's gonna, it's only gonna keep going. um,
Yeah.
but other than that, like again, if everyone here is watching, like, and if you like, I just want to leave this out here. Like, if you want to be able to experience what Jorge's been going through and be able to take your studio to that next level to start scaling your studio up, like I'd love to be able to chat with you just to see if like we can be able to help. Like I'd love to know exactly what's going on. So if you are, there's a calendar link above. Go ahead and book like quick 15-minute call. Love to chat with you. See if we can help in any way. But other than that, really appreciate you all for being here. Can't wait for the next one. And I will see you all soon. Have a great day.